Welcome on this fine Monday evening. Hey, welcome to Sty Times. Yep, it's great to see y'all. It's cold. It's cold. Um, yeah, we got sub-zero weather where I'm at. It just doesn't seem to want to warm up. It just doesn't want to warm up. So I'm wearing one of my favorite hoodies again, showing off everything Spicy's hoodie. Can't help it. I just love this hoodie. It's nice and warm. I've got a black one and I got a green one. I find I wear them quite often. So, being that I'm all warm and cozy, it's time for Sty Times. Well, tonight, our topic, yeah, self confidence. Self confidence. Now, you'll see, I want to remind folks at the top of the chat, there's a pinned message. It's a link to a form. And somewhere throughout the show, if you have the opportunity, fill out that form for me. It only takes about a minute or so, if that. It gives me some idea of what you think of the show. And folks have been using that form quite a bit. And this topic, self confidence, comes from one of the viewers. They filled out that form, and under one of the questions is, do you have a topic or subject you'd like to have discussed during Sty Times? And they said they would love to have me talk about building self confidence. Well, I think rather than just talking about building self confidence, we're just going to talk about self confidence in general, the whole idea of self confidence. Self confidence is something that, believe it or not, I don't think I've met too many people in my lifetime that never suffered from lack of self confidence at one time or another. There's a lot of things that can affect our self confidence, whether we're really feeling confident in the things we do or things we say or in our relationships. There's a lot of times where we feel, yeah, I just don't think I can. I just don't think I can. And you need to know you can. You need to know you can. But you can't do that without some self confidence. And here we go. One thing I don't want to miss during any of my shows are these great channel supporters. Love you too, Eileen. It's so great to see you, girl. And that was totally unnecessary. And it goes a long ways in supporting the channel. Thank you. Thank you very much. That it helps build my self confidence. Thank you. Yeah. The You have to excuse me. I got a bit of a cough. I was out in that dang cold early this morning, and I don't know. Yeah, got me coughing a bit. But self confidence. Now, I'm sure all of you have had the occasion to have a friend, family member, a loved one that you could see that they were lacking self confidence, and you felt helpless. Like, well, what can I, you know, just what can I do to help build their self confidence? Sometimes it's like you're kicking a dead horse. I mean, you try to cheer a person up, you try to make them feel better about themselves, and they just refuse to. They just, no, they're not seeing it. They're not seeing it. They think less of themselves, not more of themselves. Well, now, I don't mean to say that a person should be telling themselves, I'm all that. I'm everything. I'm all that. Now, you can take self-confidence to an extreme. The I've seen people that take self-confidence to the point where they almost become narcissistic. I mean, where the they're never wrong. They're they're always better than, and it doesn't matter in what. And it's always I, me. It's never us or you. And that's taking self-confidence to an extreme. And I think everybody would agree, those types of people you feel kind of put off by. It's like they've got more self-confidence than what any one person needs, you know? That's the other extreme. The first extreme is those that have zero self-confidence in them, that they have no confidence in themselves whatsoever. The I don't I I don't know how many times in my lifetime where I had lost my self-confidence, where I thought I just cannot I just cannot see things ever being better. I cannot see myself accomplishing anything. It's just like, oh, the whole world is against me and I can't do a thing about it because I just don't have the confidence in myself. Well, of course you do. You just don't realize that self confidence truly is a choice. It's a choice on how confident you will be in yourself. Now, when I see somebody that has no confidence in themselves, the first thing I try to do with that person is indirectly challenge them to do something constructive, something easy, something you know they can do if they're going to accomplish it. And they might be reluctant because they have no confidence. But if you help them accomplish something, don't take credit for helping them. Give them all that credit. Give it to them. Tell them, man, that was excellent. That was excellent. That little bit, that little gesture will tell that person, well, I guess I can do some things. And then just challenge them a little more and a little more. And it won't take long, and that person will realize, you know, I guess I'm not totally hopeless. I can accomplish some things because we can all accomplish something. We can. It's as simple. Here's a good example of having self-confidence. You can go out into society and everybody nowadays is feeling down and depressed with all the things going on in the world. And you can go out there and you can, perfect stranger, you can look at a perfect stranger and just put a big smile on your face and give them a little wave or say, hey, have a nice day. And just watch for their reaction. It's so funny. Sometimes it's just shock and awe. It's like, why would a total stranger smile at me and say, have a nice day? But a lot of times, all of a sudden, they've got this nice broad smile on, and they're like, that's awesome. That person's positive. Boy, yeah, I like that. You can walk away saying, ha ha, I made somebody smile. You can't do that without a little self-confidence that you have the ability to put a smile on somebody's face. I know I know personally people that they feel they're lesser than anybody and everybody else, that their life is just gone to pieces. They can't get anything they want done. And Nothing is going their way. What they need to do is rebuild their self-confidence. What's a good way to do that? Lean on the self-confidence that your friends and family, people close to you, have. Tap into that. Tap into that positiveness of somebody that feels confident in themselves. Now, I'm the kind of person where, and I have been, don't kid yourself thinking, oh, Sty, he's always done okay his whole life. He's done okay. No, I've had those times. I've had those times. Couple of times in my lifetime where totally have lost everything. Everything. The only thing I didn't lose was friends and family. But everything material, everything I ever worked so hard for was gone. And I couldn't see any new opportunities. And it didn't take me long where all of a sudden I lost all my self-confidence. I thought, I'm not good enough. I'm just not good enough. I had a good education, had a good career, and that career came to a screeching halt. Everything had to go just to put food on the table. Life was tough. Life was tough. And I had lost my self-confidence. I got offered a wonderful position. I mean, these folks approached me and they said, hey, how would you like to make six figures working for us? I said, well, I'd love it, but I don't think I can do it. I really don't. But I had already done it for 10 years, over 10 years. But that first career move fell apart. That second career move in the exact same field that I got my education for and where I had proven myself in the past. Because it fell apart, I fell apart with it. And I said, the only reason that fell apart was because I'm not good. I'm not good at it. I lost my self-confidence. I didn't think I could meet the standard that these people would want from me where I could make that wonderful income. It took me a full year to finally build my self-confidence up, back up to the point where I said, all right, this is ridiculous. I have to have enough guts. I got to be brave enough to just step up, go in front of those people, and convince them I can do it. I can do this. Now, that's tough to do when you'd lost your self-confidence. I went before those people and told them, you see what I did over for that other operation? I got over 10 years with that operation. And I was successful through the whole thing. But it came to a point where it just, them and I, we just couldn't work it out. And I left the position. I said, but after a year sabbatical, I am ready to jump back in the fire. I'm ready to go. I'm going to, you hire me and I guarantee you, you'll get the best I can put out for you. When I walked away from that interview with those folks, I actually told myself, boy, did you sell them a big bill of BS. There's no way you feel that confident, Sty. I was still telling myself, you're not capable. You're not capable. Otherwise, you'd still be in that old position. You wouldn't have to be looking at this new one. And I was giving myself the worst advice, and that was, oh, just give it up. Just give it up. See if you can go find a job someplace that pays you minimum wage or something. Just put groceries on the table. Quit trying to go back into that line of work. You just can't do it, Sty. And then I got the phone call, and they said that was one of the most confident and well stated interviews we've ever seen. They said, you've got the job. They said, we want you to come to work on Monday. When I hung that phone up, I was doing the jig. I was just like, oh my God, they gave me the job. Are they crazy? I'm going to get in there. I bet you I'll screw this all up. I probably shouldn't have told them that I was so good. Because can I be that good? Fortunately, I had 4 or 5 days before I started that new job. And every day I kept telling myself, just go in there and do it. Just go in there and do the dang job. And if it doesn't work out, go get a job at McDonald's. I started my very first day. I walked in there and I got 20 staff members working in my office that I have to supervise daily. And I'm walking in there without any self-confidence. I looked at those folks and I realized they don't know me. They don't know me from Adam. And I realized I've got 20 people that instantly were looking up to me. They were looking up to me. You're supposed to lead us. You're supposed to be here to help us do our jobs. And that's when I realized if I don't have self-confidence, I can't encourage self-confidence in all these people that are looking up at me and depending on me. All of a sudden, I felt it was my job to show them what they can have, and that's self-confidence in what you do. All of a sudden, my self-confidence is starting to build. And it didn't take long. It didn't take long. And I got right back into the grind of things and realized I'm good at this. I'm good at it. I might not be the best in the world, but I'm good at it. Next thing I know, I'm walking around feeling like $1,000,000. I got all the self-confidence in the world. I had someone say, hey, you want to help me? I got my Cadillac. It's got some brake problems on it. And I go, I've never done brakes on a Cadillac. And he goes, I've never pushed a wrench. But I was hoping that maybe you could do a brake job on it, that you'd figure it out. Here I was flying a desk at the time, and I said, bring the car over Saturday morning. We'll get your brakes done. And I did a brake job on that Cadillac, and it was involved. We had to replace everything in the front end. I mean, the calipers were shot. The rotors was on both driver and passenger side shot. Well, those, they don't just slide off. You got to pull the whole hub. It's a mess. It was a mess. I went and grabbed myself a repair manual for that year Cadillac, and I did a brake job on a Cadillac. Never done one before. But I had enough self-confidence that I said, oh, heck, if I can run this multi-million-dollar operation, I can change the brakes on a Cadillac. You're doggone right. Because I had gotten my self-confidence back. Now, if before I had gotten that job and rebuilt my self-confidence, I would have told him, you're nuts. You don't bring that thing over here. I've never done that before. There's no way I'm going to even try to do it. You just no. Go find somebody else that thinks they could do it. And that's the thing is to build self-confidence, you got to quit thinking, I might be able to do that, but I ain't taking a chance. I'm not doing it. I'm going to skip it. I'm just going to think about it. I'm not going to try it. You want to build self-confidence, you try things and be willing to fail at certain things. Now, if I would have tried doing those breaks and we got in a pinch and I just couldn't figure it out, I'd have to admit to myself, well, that's just not my forte. There's no way I can do it. I thought I could. But then use your self-confidence to say, but I think we can call on so and so, or we can call this garage. We can work this out. We can work it out. I may not be able to figure it out. My self-confidence said that I could, but I guess I can't. So I'm not going to be disappointed in that fact. I'm going to use my self-confidence to talk somebody else into coming and helping me accomplish what I want. When you don't have any self-confidence, you start losing confidence in other people also. And now, personally, I don't care how much anymore. There's been plenty of times in my life where it really felt like it mattered. But I don't care if other people have confidence in me. It's tough enough having confidence in myself. I've had people say, oh, Sty, you can't do that. You can't go out in the woods for 2 weeks like that. Are you crazy? Back in my younger days, you're nuts, you're crazy. I said, you know what? I've got enough skills. Even though I haven't done certain things way out in the wilderness, I've got enough skills, enough common sense, and enough self-confidence that I can do this. I'll go out there. I'm going to go out there and do it. Instead of thinking about it, I tried. And I succeeded. And it was only because of self-confidence. The hardest thing for me is when I see someone else losing self-confidence. I've known people that have, I mean, they won't even look in the mirror. They don't want to even see themselves. They have no faith in themselves whatsoever. Nothing I do goes the right way. We have times like that where things work against you. Everything might have been just hunky-dory for a while, and then they fell apart. They went to pieces. And we let ourselves go to pieces with whatever that situation was. Instead of saying, doggone it, I'm not going to accept this. I'm going to fight it. I'm going to fight it. And it can be anything. I've always been around people, and now there's nobody around. It's just me. I'm lonely. I'm depressed. I'll never make another friend. Nobody wants to be my friend. Well, I'll tell you what. It's easy to isolate yourself and say, nobody is going to like me. All my friends are gone. Nobody's going to like me. You convince yourself that you're not worthy. You're not worthy. You're not all that. You're actually nothing. But have you gone out and actually tried to change that? No, you isolate yourself. You isolate yourself and you keep whittling away at your self-confidence to the point where you can't even strike a conversation up with someone because you're afraid to be let down. And you don't have the self-confidence to say, hey, I haven't met you before. You want to sit and chat for a while? And that person says, yeah, sure. Next thing you know, you start finding out you got a point of commonality with this person, and you become friends, and it grows. But that's not going to happen if you have no self-confidence to speak up in the first place. You have to speak up. You have to be the real you. Nobody in this world is 100% unable to have some form of self-confidence. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. And even in the worst of times, you got to say, oh, I've been here before. Now, in a few minutes, I'm going to run a little clip of all my channel members. And after that, we're going to talk about the bottom. When you really get to the bottom and you have no self-confidence left at all your hope is gone. Nothing's going to improve. It's just going to be the same old, you know. You all know the line, you know, the same crap, different day. I would not wish on anybody a point where they hate their own company. And we're going to talk about that after this half-hour mark, about who your best friend really is. What is a true best friend? And I don't understand. Now, I've been there. I don't understand why it was that way, but I don't understand when a person gets to the point where they say, I don't have anybody. I don't have anybody that supports me or cares. I don't have anybody. And after the half-hour mark, we're going to talk about that, because each and every one of us, we do have somebody that cares. We do have somebody that wants to listen. And when we start turning that one best friend away, that's when we really are at risk of losing everything. Okay? I'm looking at the chat a little bit, and Gawani had said, I don't have any best friends, Sty. Well, Gawani, I'm going to talk about that, and I think I can find you a best friend. And Gawani, you found friends here. There's a lot of folks here that really, really enjoy your company and your input to the chat. And I have to say, we all have a lot of general friends. As long as we pay attention and open our hearts and minds to it. They're there. They're there. But a true best friend, we're going to talk about that after this little minute and a half break. And we'll go to that break. Oh yeah, Crazy Ann saying, all my friends are here on YouTube. We're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about that too. Thanks, Crazy Ann, for saying that. And Gawani said, but a best friend, sir, has to be able to be trusted above all. Yes, that is so true. That is so true. Okay? And it plays right into what we're going to talk about after this little break here. Like I said, it's only a minute and a half, so don't anybody run anywhere. Just take a quick, good look at all these wonderful folks that I have as channel members. Best friends. I see what you folks are all saying over there in the chat, and I love it. I love it because you're all real people. Some of these comments are just, they touch my heart. Neighbor girl says, my best friend since childhood got on drugs, and I don't want that in my life. I just hang out with my brother and my husband. Isn't that so true? There's a lot of people that they look back and they say, well, I had a lifelong best friend and their whole world fell apart and they were dragging me down with them. So now I avoid a person that used to be my absolute best friend. Now I had that happen. I mean, a best friend, it was tough. A best friend that I knew for over 50 years. I could pick up the phone and say, hey, buddy, I need a hand with something. We lived 250 miles apart. It was a little over 4-hour drive. He'd come running. He'd be at my place within 5 hours. He could call me and say, hey, I got this thing going on. I really need you, buddy. I'd tell him I'll work it out. I'd make arrangements of work in the car there within 5 hours. And after over 50 years, because of somebody else getting between the two of us, our friendship broke up. And I couldn't believe that come to think of it, we had been friends actually for 55 years at the time. And that friendship's gone. I mean, he won't accept a call from me. I keep trying, but he won't accept a call from me. And I've sent him messages explaining to him, I thought no matter what, come hell or high water, that our friendship would last forever. Well, some friendships just don't last forever. What's your best friend? You should be your own best friend. I had to learn that in going out on wilderness treks that would keep me away for long, extended periods of time with no human contact whatsoever. Now people say, oh, look at him, he's talking to himself. He's crazy, he's nuts. Well, it is if that's all you do is talk to yourself, nobody else, It's a little goofy. But I found that when I took the time to understand that one friendship that can never be taken away from you, can never be broke up and taken away, is your friendship with yourself. I see it as I've got two good friends, and those two friends are competing to be best friends. It's me, myself, and I. So me and myself are my two best buddies. Because it's always been me or myself that's helped pull the eye out of the hole. You have to like yourself. You have to like yourself. People say, well, no, I don't. I don't like myself. I don't like anything about me, this and that. Well, then listen to me and myself, because one of those two, I'm sure, are telling you, come on, we're here for you. Is anybody else here for you right now? Well, if they're not, we're here for you. You're there for yourself. You need to take that responsibility to ask yourself, what should I do? What's best for me? What should I do? It's when we learn to hate ourselves to the point where you won't even listen to yourself anymore. Yourself is saying, hey, come on, man. You can't be in this rut. You can't be down and out like that. You got to lift your head up. You got to move on. You can't be down here. It's killing you. And you go, oh, shut up. I can't stand you. I can't stand myself. Well, yourself is hurting because you've taken all of your self-confidence and thrown it away to the point where you won't even listen to yourself anymore. I can remember times when I was giving myself great advice to get up and move ahead and just going, shut up. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You're the only one that says I can do this. All my other friends, they don't believe in me. I'm sure of it. But yourself is saying, come on, you're taking this to an extreme. If they say, hey, I really care, is there something I can do to help build your self-confidence back up? You can be honest with them and say, I don't think there is, but I would like you to try to help me. That'd be great to have you try to help me regain my self-confidence. That in itself is a move in the right direction to self-confidence because you finally made the move, got up the nerve to step forward and say, I'm worth it. I might seem worthless today, but I am worth it. And I need people to know I'm important. I'm an important individual. I have a life. Oh, thank you, Phil. Thank you. Thank you. That is so cool. Yeah, these are actually free sessions. Any support like that goes to the channel and keeps things alive on the channel. And again, they're self-confidence builder. But it's not, just the fact that if anybody is finding that this conversation or any of the shows has helped in any sense in your life, let me know. Let me know. Because that makes me feel wonderful. It makes me feel good that somebody might think, oh, that old guy's crazy as sin, but sometimes hearing something crazy off the wall goes a long ways. Oh, Gemma, that's Gemma. Well, I need to hear this. Maybe you can call on Facebook. Yeah, let's see. I've been so doggone busy. We will have to touch base, though, Gemma. That's wonderful. Gemma's a wonderful person. There's somebody. She knows what I'm talking about. She's had issues where she said, I just can't do this. I just know I can't. And that girl has picked herself up and jumped right back in and said, I'm going to do it. It might not work, but I'm going to do it. And she builds her self-confidence back up and off she goes. She's a very good example of that. Very good example. Wonderful girl. Okay, now here's one thing. Oh, Dan. You are a crazy old man, but I love you. Thanks, Dan. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. It's so great. You folks, I and honestly, all of you that come and hang out with me and you hear me out, I don't ask anybody to always agree with me. I don't go there. That's, I might be totally off base. I don't think I am, but I may be. But it's just your presence. I mean, you make the world worth living having all you folks around. It goes a long, long ways. Um, I wish I had this arena years ago. Years ago. Um, my life, for the most part, for the last many years, has been pretty good. But it would have been so much better with all of you in it. Yes, it would have. But what I wanted to get to is in the worst case, and I only say this because I experienced it and I learned from it. And I don't know that others can learn from hearing someone else's situation or not. But I just pray, hope and pray that none of you ever have to be in that spot. But if you've lost everything, you have nothing. Your friends and family have turned their backs to you, and you're on the bottom. Oh my gosh, where? Oh, ho, 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 ho. I've got friends on the sly, and that's it, is when I'm chatting like this, telling you guys something, I miss things. Check that out. Check that out from one. I mean, Saucy Shane. There's a saucy brother right there. Uh, I hope it helped you out, Shane. I hope it did, because Shane's struggling right now. He's struggling, and and you know he's here for the camaraderie of all of you great YouTubers, and the that he says, I'm not worried. I slip through the cracks more than not. I don't want you slipping through the cracks, buddy. No way. No way. Yeah, I would have had a very embarrassing super shout out for Shane on Wednesday night if I would have missed that tonight. The But if you've lost everything, and right to the point where you've lost hope, you've lost all your self-confidence, you just can't see any answers left in life at all. Picture yourself in that position as being in a room that is totally empty and it's dark. And there's a big staircase at the end of the room that's going way the hell up there. And you can see there's light through the crack of the door way at the top of that staircase. You're at the bottom in that room, sitting in a corner. You have nothing. You have nobody. You're looking around that room and you're going, there's nothing here. There's nothing here for me anymore. It's all gone. It's all gone. You look up those stairs and you go, I don't think I can make it. I don't think I can make it back up to that door. I've been bled out. I'm not able. I can't. Stop and think for a minute and listen to yourself, because deep inside of you, there's got to be somewhere that you're telling yourself, guess what, dude? You can't get any lower. You're looking at the floor, you're looking around. No, there's no way down. And I'm stuck in the corner here looking up them stairs. Listen to yourself, your own best friend, telling you, hey, lift your chin up, bud. Lift your chin up. That's one of the easiest decisions I was ever able to make, is when I found myself at that point. The easiest decision, because it was the only decision. There's only one direction to go, out and up. There's only one way to go, out and up. I might not think I can make it to the top, but doggone it, it's only a step at a time. My first decision is going to be, I'm going to get out of this corner and get to the steps. I'm not going to look at the top. I'm going to look at the steps. And I'm going to take that first step. Then I'm going to take the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Before you know it, all of a sudden, boom, you bump your head on the door and the door pops open and you go, oh my God, look at the light. Hey folks, and you yell out that door. Folks, I'm back. I'm back. I've got self-confidence and the world is wide open to me. And now I can make some choices and I can move ahead. Nobody's doing that for you. Nobody's carrying you. Nobody's pushing you. You're doing it. You're doing it all out of self-confidence. Oh, thank you, OG son. There's Jimmy. Shine the lights, Sty. Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, Jimmy. You're such a great person, man. Such a great person. And he's very inspirational, by the way. He could have a channel just on inspiration, that guy. Yeah. Yeah. And that there's a lot of things that I believe that we have happen in our lives that tear us down. Life tears us down. That there's nothing out there that, none of us get that knight on the white horse riding in to save us and we all live happily ever after. That doesn't really happen to normal folks. Oh, Gemma. Oh, Gemma. Gemma says, I struggle with this due to my autism. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. For her, it's a daily battle. It's a daily battle to keep her self-confidence up. And I love it when people go to her channel and they support her and they remind her she's important. She's important. And actually, I'm going to go head down that road as we wrap this thing up. We got about 10 minutes to go. So we all know what it's like to lose our self-confidence, where we're just not confident with ourselves anymore. And what a person needs to keep in mind is you may feel nobody out there gives a damn about me. Nobody cares. Nobody cares anymore. People just don't care. They just don't care. My friends, my family, all my loved ones, they just don't understand and they just don't care. Don't let yourself get to the point where you won't listen to them. If you have a friend say, I am so glad to see you today. I really care. I love you so much. I just want to see you happy. Can we do something to help make you feel better today? Listen to them. Listen. Don't tell them, no, you don't understand. Well, they must understand something if they're saying, oh, I'm here for you. I want to know what's going on. I want to help you out. And then you tell them, no, go away. You would never understand. I feel this way, I feel that way, and blah, 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 blah. So don't give me your advice. I don't need it. Guess what? They're really not giving you advice. They're just giving you their time. Hey, Eileen says, I'm writing a book about what I went through in my life to help others. Good for you. Awesome. Good for you. Good for you. And always keep in mind, if one person reads that book and it changes their life, helps them, you accomplished a world of good. A world of good. The I've been there where I've pushed people away and said, "Oh, if you only knew, you don't know how I feel. You don't know how it is." And to a degree, you're absolutely right. They don't know how you feel. Other than the fact they know you feel like shit because they can see it in you because they love you, they care, and all they're saying is, I'm here for you. Don't end up down in that basement in that corner having to struggle all the way up them stairs. If you got a friend that's willing to help you, turn around on those steps and start working your way back up. You're not taking advantage of them by allowing them to be part of your misery. If they invite themselves into your misery to help bring you out of it, don't turn them away. Don't turn them away. Hey, look at this beautiful. There's a beautiful person for you. Crazy Ann, you're crazy. You are crazy, girl. She's a big part of my life, by the way. She's a special person in my life. Very special. Yeah. Anybody that knows Ann finds her special. the the and my point is really that I had a situation, and and I'm not targeting any certain person because I've done this several times. Oh, here, neighbor girl, neighbor girl. I'm a suffer in silence type of person. There you go. Now, you know what? That goes right with what I'm going to say right now. What I've offered up to some of my friends in the past is I got an idea of what you're going through, but there's no way I can understand it because what happened to you is tragic and it's brought you down. Your self-confidence is shot to hell. You're just not yourself anymore. And I've offered up to them, hey, if you want to talk, get a hold of me and we'll get together either in person or on a private chat together. And you can talk. Now I've done this and I've sat there for nearly an hour while a person, I mean, they sounded off on me for an hour. I got my ear full. Boy, did I get my ear full. I had nothing to say during all that time. The only conversation we had is when we first connected, and I said, well, hi, how are you doing? Yeah, well, it's not going good. And I go, well, yeah, that's why I figured you called. And, you want to get something off your chest. Go for it. Go for it. I'm here. I'm here. I'm just in the room listening. You don't want to talk to yourself. So you got me to talk to. And I'll just sit here and listen. Spend nearly an hour just listening. And all of a sudden, and that person, oh, they didn't miss a beat. They had a lot to say about where they were, what their situation has caused, and what they think they should do and shouldn't do. And I had told them right from the get-go, it's not a conversation. It's just I'm here to hear whatever you want to spill. And when we got done, we sat there for over 5 minutes. Neither one of us said a word. That person is just kind of looking down at their computer. And we didn't say nothing for 5 minutes. And after the end of that 5 minutes, I said, well, that was a great conversation. That was a great conversation. I told him, I said, you know, if you need to bounce anything off me again, give me a call tomorrow. Give me a call tomorrow. And then tomorrow we could have a conversation, okay? And they said, yeah, I think I'll do that. They called me back. They called me back and they said, you wouldn't believe how much better I feel getting all that off my chest. Somebody just willing to sit and listen. And you have to listen. You can't just be there. Pay attention to what they're saying and listen to them. They need somebody to hear them so they feel they're not alone in the world. That person's self-confidence started coming back. Their self-esteem was building. And they're saying, I guess I'm not a bad person. I might live in a bad world. I might have some bad acquaintances, but I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. Don't ever consider yourself a bad person. Bad people, they don't know they're bad people. I've always believed that. Truly bad people, they don't know they're bad. People that think they're bad are usually beating themselves up for something that everybody in the world feels. So don't put yourselves down. Build yourselves up. You need that self-confidence. You need that self-confidence. I wish I could have spent a lot. Actually, this is a show I wish I could have been just a spectator and read that whole chat, because I catch little comments here and there, and you guys have been wonderful out there. You're sharing experiences. You're talking about how you feel about things. I love it. I love it. You folks are great. You're absolutely wonderful. And don't forget that. And keep your self-confidence up. And if you start losing your self-confidence, get a hold of somebody, anybody that you feel comfortable with, and ask them, can I vent on you for a little bit? I bet they'll let you. Keep that self-confidence up, help each other, lift each other. All will be better. It'll all be better. Love you all. Arcade, thank you so much on the way out the door. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, thank you. Arcade's great. So that's it, folks. I have got to run. It's the end of the show, and we'll see you at the next one. The next one's going to be interesting. You watch this closing, and you'll see what that topic is. And the topic's a little dirty. I'll see you Wednesday evening at 5 p.m. Central Time, back here at Sty Times. You all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye-bye.